वो कर रहे हैं. It does. It is coming in the paper. Yes. You know, you people make your questions so, some of you make your questions so simple that I find it very difficult to answer that simple question. You know, every question has got so many factors. But let me tell you one thing. Let's face realities. The reality is that there is a strong man becoming stronger day by day. There is another person who's not so strong, who is also perhaps becoming strong, but not, he is not becoming weak. He is strong, he is also becoming stronger, but not as fast, as stronger as the other person. अब आप उनको दोनों को भिड़ाओगे तो क्या नतीजा होगा? अब जब तक आप लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल और बॉर्डर को डिस्प्यूट को आप सॉल्व नहीं करते हो तो आपके ऊपर प्रेशर आएंगे, चाहे वो इकोनॉमिक प्रेशर है या बॉर्डर के ऊपर प्रेशर है या कोई डिप्लोमेसी में यूनाइटेड नेशंस के ऊपर प्रेशर आएंगे, तो ये प्रेशर आएंगे आपके ऊपर. So the first thing is that, and this is what I have been, and everybody has been saying, that for heaven's sake, get the line of actual control put on the map. That's not my job. That job is of the. So if you don't put it, and then you say, okay, don't fire also, make sure that please there is no firing in that area. We have been firing in Pakistan, over the Pakistan, but as you know, we have not fired on China. There are orders. There are orders. So I perceive, I'm sorry to say, greater pressures coming on India in the years to come. I wish we had resolved the border issue much, much earlier. A line of control, actual control. All these things should have been done much earlier. Today, you go to China, they are way ahead of you in infrastructure, in other things. They are more powerful. We have not only the weakness of our political leadership, not thinking strategically, but surely, I mean, you can understand economically, diplomatically, where China is and where we are. So it's not that we are not becoming stronger, but the gap is increasing. And when in international relationship such a gap increases, then the influence changes. One party is able to create greater influence on the other party.
General Sahab, if we assume that India and Pakistan go in for a war, do you think that China will attack us concurrently in spite of their huge economic interest with India?
I don't think so. They might try something, in J&K or Ladakh border, etc. But I don't think today any country is prepared to get its own people killed for the sake of another country. But they will supply them weapons, they will supply them whatever else they need. But I don't think they would want their own people to get killed because.
Because we always thought that they will do all of it.
Thank you so much.
There is no doctrine of that nature. We don't have that capability.
Thank you so much, General Malik, for taking all these questions so patiently. We request our Senior Vice President, Mr. Sajid Jain, to please come for a word of thanks.
General Sahab, thank you very much for the very illuminating talk. I'm glad we changed the topic to this topic. We were earlier debating about the topic of lessons from armed forces and modern management. Because for the last 12 years, General Sahab after retirement has been involved with many private sector companies at the board level, at the strategic level. I remember my first meeting with General Sahab was about 10, 12 years ago in the Shatabdi. He was sitting in the Shatabdi. I saw him. I mean, his photograph is there in the newspapers, the television, etc. So I have this nature. If there's somebody interesting I see, I reach out to that person. At worst, he'll say, I'm not interested in talking to you. That is the worst he will say. So I went and asked him, sir, can I talk to you for some minutes? And he was very kind enough to talk. And that is how I got to know him. And then there have been several other occasions where I've met him. He's also come to our factory, presided over a presentation on improvements in one of our factories, and so on. But another meeting I recall, again on the Chandigarh station. So Shatabdi is really where I met him very often when I was staying in Chandigarh. And at that time, one senior politician came in with 6 or 8 commandos guarding that lady. And I saw General Sahab standing without any guard. So I said, sir, if at all somebody is a security threat, you would be at a security threat. Who would want to attack this lady? And then he explained to me how, as a general who was heading the Indian army, when India defeated Pakistan, the number of terrorists who may want to get at him at that time would have been far higher. And he was very clear. He said, if someone wants to get me, he will get me. And he's very cool about it. So that is the kind of person who was. So I'm just sharing some of these two incidents of, so that's how I have known him. Sir, today, the way you explained in very simple terms and simple language the issues that we are being faced with. And I think you raised this issue of the lack of strategic thinking in the country. And that is pretty clear, whether it's on our economic field, and today you of course elaborate on the defense field. It is because of the lack of strategic thinking that our country is growing at 8 to 9%, is come down to 5%. Our rupee has gone from 53 to 66 today, and who knows where it's going. And I'm very happy, sir, that you are raising these issues with think tanks, with educated people, with people in the business, because eventually it's people like you and me who determine who we send to the parliament. Many of us are not active in the political process. There are 2-3 ways of being active. One is, of course, just going and saying, I'll cast my vote. And the good part is the younger generation today is keen to participate in the electoral process. My daughter, the day she turned 18, she wanted a voting card, and she was studying in college in Delhi, and she came from Delhi to Ludhiana just to cast her vote. And I was so impressed that this is at 18 and a half, she is so keen to participate in the electoral process. So eventually, if as public we raise these issues with our politicians, with our elected representatives, that these are important. But what happens to Indians? We are only concerned about what's happening in my house, my factory, my department, and so on. The country, be damned. And I think this is a very strong message the General Sahab is telling all of us. That get active, start thinking, because once the public starts thinking, that is when the strategic culture starts coming in the country. And strategic culture basically means a long-term approach. Thinking of what can be, what may and what may not be. So sir, thank you very much. Once again, you were so kind. The first time I called you, immediately you responded. And you gave a set of dates. From those dates, today was the only date that the venue was available. Otherwise, the 5 dates General Sahab had given me, the venue was not available. So that's how we chose today. And I want to thank all of you for being here, being a very patient audience. And the questions, the kind of questions that kept coming in, showed that all of you enjoyed the talk. And I'm sure if Kamal had not put a stop to it, we could have continued for at least half an hour more. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and you're all invited for dinner. Now, sorry, one more thing. Can I request Anil, one of our past presidents, to honor Nehru Sahib on behalf of the leader. All of you invited for dinner now.